Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Surfer's Journey. In today's episode, I'm going to use point of view footage to show you guys section selection. So I want to show you what I see when I'm up and riding and what I'm thinking and what I'm going to do when I'm presented with a variety of different sections. Where do I carve? Where do I foam climb? Where do I re-entry? Where do I floater? Etc. So let's get into it. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe now so you can stay up to date with all my latest videos and tutorials. But for now, let's get into today's lesson of the week.
For surfers in the water, observation is a key skill. Once we're out in the water, we're looking for the best waves to catch. But observation doesn't stop there. Once we're actually up and riding on a wave, we're looking to see what the wave's going to do for us, what kind of section is approaching us, and what kind of turn are we going to do once we get to that section. Without speed, you cannot perform good maneuvers. It's that simple. So to generate speed, as we've talked about before, you want to be high on the wave and perform speed pumps. But what does it actually look like when you're up and riding? Well, here's an example. Here you can see that I'm trying to stay high on the wave. At this point here, I'm compressing and I'm throwing my arms and extending my body, and my weight's going up onto my toes. This is going to put me at the top of the wave. I want to stay in this top third part. As you can see, it's steeper here. And every time I go up to that steep bit and then slowly come back down and then do another speed pump and throw again to go up higher, I generate more and more speed. You do this as many times as you need to generate as much speed as you need. Surfers can perform floaters for many reasons. In this example here, I'm performing a little floater over that section to try and get down the line. In this example here, I've performed more of a lip line. It's more of a combination between a re-entry and a floater. You may perform a lip line on a section which seems like it might be a bit too steep to do a floater. Floaters could also be performed as big, critical finishing moves, as you might see some of the world's best surfers do at big, heavy breaks. But for surfers at this level, floaters are probably going to be used to get around sections while you're trying to get down the line on a wave, to try and make it to the next section. So let's have a look at how you do it. It's all about timing. Here I'm doing a bottom turn and I want to try and get my board on top of the section like this. It's basically like a skater doing a grind on the coping. It's important that as you come out of your bottom turn to hit that section, that you throw your arms a little bit as you extend your body. This creates lift and allows you to put your board on top of that section. While these floaters aren't super critical, the principle remains the same. The only difference when you perform a floater on a bigger section on a heavier wave is that when you come off that lip to land, you want to make sure that you compress, just like you would when you land from jumping on the flat. This will help your body absorb the shock and help you prevent any knee injuries. Surfers generally perform cutbacks on flat sections. By doing this, it allows the wave to continue to grow, and hopefully as you come out of that cutback, you'll have speed into that next section, which hopefully will be steeper and better. Let's have a look at what it looks like. In this example, you can see that I'm bottom turning up to the top of the wave. When we perform any maneuver, especially carves or cutbacks, we want to perform that turn on the top of the wave. Here you can see I'm starting to compress low and lean. And I'm going to keep leaning and I'm going to keep looking and rotating until I see that whitewater section. Then I'm going to perform a backhand re-entry off of that foam. You can see that once I've hit the foam and my board's going up, I then look and rotate back to the other direction. When surfers perform a carve, they're using very similar body mechanics that they use in a cutback, except now it's going to be more aggressive and faster, and we're going to perform those maneuvers in steeper, more critical sections on a wave. And to make the carves look better, you need more speed and steeper sections. In this example, you can see that I'm bottom turning up, and you can clearly see that this section is much steeper than the section that I performed that cutback on. Once again, I'm high on the wave, and notice that as I turn, rotate, and look, I'm not looking all the way back to the foam, but I'm looking back to the bottom of the foam. Now you could keep looking if you wanted to keep the board on rail. If you wanted to cut your carve short, you could just look to the base of the wave. This is going to take some time and practice to get right. On the backhand, you can see the same thing. As I bottom turn up to the lip, I can see that it's not steep enough to do a re-entry, but it's not fat enough to need to do a roundhouse cutback. So instead, I look back to the bottom of the foam. And by doing that, the wave has time to develop a more critical section while I'm doing that. And as I come out of the carve, it allowed me to set up for that backhand re-entry. A re-entry is when a surfer puts their board up above the lip. This is usually performed on steeper, more critical sections when the lip's actually throwing out. So it's all about timing, and you want to put your board up towards the lip as the lip's throwing out. Once again, this takes time and practice to get that timing right. And as we progress, we can work on throwing the fins like this. But for now, let's just focus on what we're looking for. In this example, you can see that I've dropped down to the bottom of the wave, and I've identified that this section is going to be perfect for re-entry. I know that because it's steep and the lip's throwing, which is essentially like a coping. So what I do is I look and I throw and I rotate to put my board up on that lip. I then quickly and aggressively turn and look down. This will cause that change of direction facing the beach to complete that re-entry. Once again, speed is key. The faster we're going when we perform these maneuvers, the better they're going to look. In this example, you can see that I'm bottom turning, and once again, it's all about timing. I've spotted that section, and here you can clearly see that lip throwing out and that coping-like section. This allows me to put my board up as I look and change my direction. It's that simple. We just look where we want to go and we rotate to where we want to go, and you'll see that the board follows. In this example, we see a slightly more critical section because that lip is throwing out more. Once again, it's all about timing. But here you can see that my front foot is above the lip. Now, the higher we can get our board when we perform a re-entry, the better it's going to be. It's going to stop us from catching our nose as we change direction on the way back down.
Guys, thanks for watching the video today. I hope that now you've got a better understanding of what to do when you're presented with a whole variety of sections. And I hope that this will translate to the next time you go surfing. Remember to like the video and comment below to let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Thanks guys, I'll catch you in the water.